Hey, Freddie.
Hey, Fernando.
And hey, guys, welcome to an episode of the Fernando and Freddie
Show.
Live with a Reddit on Reddit. All right, so today we're going to be talking about should tap water be free at a bar or a restaurant? When you go to a bar or a restaurant and you order a cup of water, should it be free?
Okay, let me read this thing. Where is it? Okay, so this one is about Europe, okay? On a thread about having to pay for water at restaurants in Europe. No law against it in Sweden. You can charge whatever you want for tap water. Most don't charge, though. And one of the replies is that Europeans like to make up random stuff about America so they feel better about themselves, too. So someone says, but most people around the world think it's okay to make fun of... Oh, sorry. That was going off on another tangent. But charging for water in Europe. But in the UK, no restaurants or bar would charge for tap water. But some places do. And then another one person says, in Denmark, every place with running water is required by law to offer tap water to drink to whoever demands it. So they're not allowed to charge for it there.
I think that's fair, too.
Well, it seems like it's different all around the world. This one says in Australia, it's illegal to not offer free tap water to customers, including nightclubs. Yeah.
Maybe it's like a health and safety type thing, too. But, I mean, I guess it's one thing, like, if you're a paying customer, like, if you're buying drinks, you're buying food, like, okay, here's a cup of water for free. But, like, if you just go up and you haven't bought anything and you're just kind of, like, trying to get water, I mean, I guess that's a different story. But I totally see where if you're buying stuff, like...
But this one says in the Netherlands, apparently they charge for water. Unless you are persistent with them. So they charge you for any type of water there. And it's even worse in nightclubs, the person read.
Really? I wonder how much they charge you.
Yeah, that's the thing. But I mean, like I've been charged for water, and oh, look, this one blew my mind that I would have to pay $10 for water in a club in the U.S.
Was it a cup of water or was it a bottle?
It doesn't say the person didn't buy it. He just said, I went and drank from the sink for free.
Hey, I never actually thought about that. I never thought about that either. Like, you have a cup. Like, I'm sure they'll give you a cup, or you have your drink that you just finished. I never, ever thought about that. And it's the same water that they would have poured you from the bar because there's not a filter on that.
Yeah, but, at the same time, you're thinking to yourself...
the people in the bathroom are watching you.
Water from a club toilet? Yeah. Well, even then, I guess you could. I mean, it wouldn't really... I don't know. I just the idea of it kind of grosses me out to think of drinking, like, because you know how dirty clubs are? They usually have no soap.
Yeah. Well, I usually have been fine with getting soap. But... I don't know. I guess I never ever really thought about drinking sink water at a bar or a club. Like, never once crossed my mind. Like, but at the same time, like, I've never had a problem getting water, I guess, if I'm thirsty, So
I don't know. I don't think they should charge, though.
No, I agree. I don't think that they should be charging at all either, especially if you've been there drinking. Like, hello, I just spent how much money on drinks? So give me a cup of water. How hard is that? Or like if you order a cup of water and they like give you like the tiny little cup.
Yeah, but the argument is that they still have to pay for the water.
Yeah, but how much are they really paying for that water? And they just made profit off of you by buying those drinks.
Well, I think it's one of those things, it's like giving napkins for free because you paid for a meal. So I guess it should be included in the overall operating cost. But at the same time, there's some people who are really, a lot of environmentalists who might be like, water is precious. We need to charge for it because it is a precious thing. I mean, especially in a place. Imagine if you were somewhere in a desert country that doesn't have a lot of groundwater. So I would imagine that then yes, they would charge there maybe.
Let me just say this real quick, right off of the bat. If I was in another country where they maybe didn't have a lot of groundwater, I'm going to buy a bottle of water. I'm not going to drink water from the tap, and we've already talked about this. But so let's just circle back real quick.
Hold on.
So
I know, but I was just going to tell you, you can drink the water in Mexico City. I looked
we'll
it up.
Google that later. We'll Google it later. Listen,
I did. You can tapwater.com.
imagine going up to the bar and being like, "Oh, can I have a cup of water, please?" "Oh, it'll be $4." "No, thank you." Go to the bathroom and just like flush the toilet a few times. Leave the water running in there.
Oh, I'm sure.
No, to be like, yeah, here you go. You charged me for that cup of water. Now I'm going to go and I'm going to rack up your water bill.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like you were drinking water from the toilet.
Oh my gosh. I'm not an animal. I'm not a dog.
Fernando, no.
So, Freddie, here's a thread that I found on Reddit. So, I'm curious, if you're at a bar late night, this is, "May I have water, please?" And it's referring to bartenders. So, they're ask a bartender. I'm curious, if you're at a bar late night and you ask the bartender for water, do you get mad? I can see how you would, since you're more than likely not going to get a tip off of free water. Or do you respect the person for being responsible for not wanting a hangover and for trying not to get too drunk? Thanks for your reply. Somebody says on here, all my guests get a water regardless if they ask. I believe water is the most important thing I can serve you. Only irresponsible bartenders will get mad at this. Part of our job is to make sure everyone is safe before they leave the bar. Water is an essential tool for this. Which, I mean, is totally true. Where'd you go? Which is totally true. Like, I really like that. Like, you know, being at a bar, like I've had bartenders who would just like pour me a cup of water, or, you know, or like, "Oh, hey, do you want some water?" Like, and I kind of feel like then it's like a nice little thing. You've had what?
Yeah, but I've had bartenders actually give me attitude for asking for water because they're all. Yeah, but that's the type of bartender where even if you do order a drink, you don't tip them, because that kind of attitude is just, I hate that type of attitude. You know what I mean? Because he's already assuming like you're not going to tip him, or you're being cheap or whatever. And it's like,
yeah,
I want to say it's that individualism that someone thinks that, you know, you don't know where they're coming from. You know what I mean? They're automatically assuming that you're just not going to do something when that's not even the case.
But I do understand, like, sometimes bars are really busy, right? Like, you know, there's like local bars near me, and at the local little bar, like if I ask for a cup of water, like they're going to give me a big cup. And you know, the speed gun, like when they're filling up that cup, it literally takes like 30 seconds like to fill up my cup of water. And I totally get, like, yeah, they could be serving other people in the meantime, but they're not giving me attitude about it. And instead of giving me that tiny little cup, he's giving me like a decent sized cup. So, I mean, I totally get like where with that little speed gun, it's taking up time, but at the same time, like,
but it takes you nothing. It's not mixing anything. It's not doing it. It's literally pressing a button. Like if you want this is what I like at some places where they have that little, the water dispenser. It's facing towards the
like the customers.
The customer. So you could they give you the cup and you just go get the water yourself. So it takes out that whole, I'm losing time, I could be making a drink, or you're not going to tip me or whatever. It's just literally like, they could just point to it and there might be cups next to it and boom, done. And that makes more sense.
And at the same time too, like, how are you as a tipper? Like, if you go to a bar, just like regular, you know, Friday night out, maybe here in the United States, I don't know how you're going to do it in France.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you're in Europe, they don't tip.
And
they literally like leave $1.
Right. So, and you order like one drink. Like, how much tip are you going to leave on that one drink? Like, what's your average like tip?
In the U.S.?
Yeah, in the U.S.
I always do the $1 a drink.
Yeah, I'm the same way. But at the same time, like, if like the bartender's nice and friendly, like if it was that person that I just read who just volunteers you that cup of water, like, oh, that person's like really nice, you know, like, and if they're like friendly and they put love into your drink, like maybe that first drink they got $1, but coming on forward, like maybe I'll leave extra, you know?
I've rarely had like a bartender like be nice enough to where you want to tip more, because sometimes they're a bit rude. Like they have like I understand they're busy, they have a lot of things to do, you know, they're trying to rush to get everyone their drinks, and everyone, you know, is pretty persistent with their money in their hand. But I've also had it before where I've had bartenders like, you have like a 50 in your hand, you order your drinks, and they just take your change and just throw it in their tip jar, and they go on to the next person.
Hello.
But I've had that happen to me a lot of times, and that type of bartender that I hate, and that's the only time where I probably will go back and complain. And I will go during the daytime. I will point the person out, and I will go. It's ridiculous that I had a 50 in my hand. I ordered 2 drinks, and you just put my change into your tip jar as if you automatically assumed that you deserved it.
Yeah, well, I guess like I've been pretty fortunate.
And that literally, I can still remember that story. That happened to me twice.
Really?
Yeah.
But like I'll have bartenders where even if it's like the total say comes to like $3, I give them a 5, and they'll bring my $2 back, or whatever the case is. Like I'll get my change. Yeah.
But would you do that? Like whenever I've been a server in my life, I've never been like, I deserve this. This is mine, because I'm always thinking that this person may not have extra. There are a lot of servers who are like, no tipping. It's you must tip. I have to have this tip. I must have this certain percentage, because they just feel like they deserve it for what they're doing. But it's like, no, I don't come from that type of mentality. I have the mentality that you're doing a job, and that's your job. So you're being paid for it, and anything above that is because you went above and beyond that.
Yeah. I do understand though where like servers and bartenders are coming from. Like, yes, they get their, hourly low minimum wage, and yes, they're relying on these tips.
But you have to remember too. No, but what about all the other people who work minimum wage shops who don't get tipped?
Right. But in the same,
a McDonald's worker works just as hard as a bartender.
Right. But a bartender and a server are working with the assumption that they're going to be making a tip, and that is why they're working that job, because they've worked it so long, and it's common practice. But at the same time, you don't just get the tip just because. You get the tip because you're actually doing the job, and you're doing a good job at it. Like if you're my server, you just come up and you're rude to me, you take forever to bring me a refill, like you're not going to get a full tip. No, I'm sorry. Like
most of the people are like that, because you have a lot of judgment when you're a server and a bartender. I've like I said, I've worked in service, and you hear the comments that people make. I've been like as a kid, I worked in a lot of restaurants as a host, and the servers will tell you exactly what kind of people they don't want to be served or to serve. But and it's usually pretty racist, pretty. It's bad. Usually, everything they say. So I've seen it, and so it's a lot of assumptions, and it's funny because it usually ends up not being true, because they'll come back and they'll tell you later, this person actually gave me a lot more, and because I think the person who's being served can feel that whatever is happening.
Yeah, but at the same time too, like I've never worked, in food service or as a bartender, or in that matter, any job really that people tipped on. But I do know that going into a restaurant, and I've seen the different types of servers, and I eat a lot, like through my life. So I know like different types of servers, and the good servers are always very attentive and very friendly. And you know what? That's the person that I want to give my money to. Someone who's going to give me a cup of water, who's going to give me a straw, and smiling and being happy about it,
Yeah, well, we all want a tip for good service.
Right.
But when you get kind of like that animosity, or that kind of that. Yeah, I don't know, just that offness. It makes you feel like you don't want to be there. It makes you feel like, But I prefer. I like the places. I prefer the places where that just add the tip into the total for you, because then it just.
Nope.
Why?
Because then it's automatic. It goes in like, they just add the tip into the total for you. Well, that's 18%. And this is why I don't like it. So a couple of months ago, we were in San Francisco, and there was, I think, like 8 of us. We were at this little brewery restaurant getting some food, and it was terrible, terrible, terrible service. And we were like waiting for something. I think we were waiting for something else to get brought over. We wanted the bill. There was a couple of us who wanted to split it. We just wanted to get out of there. We were all tired. The waiter took forever to come back over to us, so we could see him across the room. He was just like chatting it up with like some people, and so finally my friend was like, "Excuse me," and like waved him over, and he comes over and you gave us the bill, whatever, and we split it up, and you're paying, And she's like, she just like lowballed that tip. She was like, he was so rude. He, just expected that he was going to get this big old tip from us because we were ordering the stuff, but he didn't bring us refills. He took forever to bring the food. He didn't bring the condiments that she had asked for. Like, it was just like an expectation. And that's why, a lot of times you go to a restaurant, it says automatically tip will be included for parties of 8 or more. But then that server knows that they're getting that tip, and their service.
Actually, you're right, because this reminds me of a story when I went to Italy a few years ago, and we were 3 people. We each ordered a pizza.
Ooh, that sounds tasty.
Yeah, and the server added a €20 gratuity to the bill. And I mean, it was really, really, really bad service. Like, really bad. He was rude. I mean, just like really bad. And I mean, we paid it, of course, but it was, I mean, that actually, when I think about it, you're right. In that case, I should have said something, but we didn't. We were just like, let's just go. It was the same thing. You're tired, you want to go, and then they just decided, no, they didn't want to,
Yeah. But that's the thing too, like in Colombia, they automatically like add the tip in, but you have to like approve it. Like they'll have it on there, and I don't know if it's like the suggested or how exactly it worked, but it kind of like it shows up in the bill. I mean, I guess if you don't want to pay that, you tell them you don't want to pay that amount, but it's so low. It's like such a low amount that it's like less than what I wanted to tip to begin with. So it was like, because I would use my card for everything and I don't get foreign transaction fees, and that way I just right off I know what I'm spending, and it shows me like the conversions. But so I would definitely like leave more like Colombian pesos as like a tip. But it was kind of nice like knowing like, oh, okay, well I'm being really thankful to them, and they were so appreciative of it. I mean, it was pennies to me, but
so
to them.
Interesting here though, I've tried to tip people and they'll be like, what, like, you're so American, like, no, we don't tip here. Like, I've been some places where like, no, like, well, they kind of do, because they're like, well, no, it's that's why we charge what we charge, so you don't have to tip us, and we already get paid. So it's kind of nice to have that kind of like, and comparatively speaking, it's a lot less that they earn here than they do at home. Like, I would say most of the bartenders that I worked with before, they're making about $400 a night. And the servers might be making about between $200 and $300 a night.
So when you go to a bar, like in France, like if you order a drink, you don't tip the bartender? That's like not
you can, but no, it's not common. Not a lot of people do it. Like, and if they do tip, it'll be like €1.
Okay.
Like, really, like they don't. And I'm talking. I know there's gonna be some like, oh, they tip here, da da da. No, like, even in some of the most expensive places I've been, that people don't tip. Some places they do. Some places they have an insane amount of tips, but insane for Europe, but not anywhere close to what it would be in the U.S.
Wow.
Yeah, like in the U.S., everyone's like, and it keeps creeping up. It's like 18, it's 20%, then it's 22%, which is kind of insane though when you think about it. Like,
yeah, it can add up. That's a lot.
Yeah, because you're paying tax, and then you're paying a minimum percentage, and then there's those people like, well, if you can't afford it, don't eat out, and it's like,
right, I've heard that too.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny because if people didn't eat out, you wouldn't have a job.
Right.
Yeah. So it's a really interesting topic, like, because tipping culture is not something that happens outside of the U.S. really.
I don't know, but I guess I've grown up here. I haven't done a ton of world travel, so I mean, I can't really say how it all works.
It's interesting. People will chase you down to give you your money back. They're like, why did you leave this on the table? Yeah.
Aww.
Yeah, because they figure you forgot it.
That's cute though. Be like, no, that's for you.
Yeah, and they're just kind of like, it's weird because it doesn't happen, so it's just like, oh.
Yeah. But you know what? If you can do it, and I'm sure that makes them happier too.
But I think it should be more on service, not just a percentage.
Definitely agree with that too. Like, that's what I was saying too. Like the whole, if you're going to get that cup of water, if they're going to, put love into your drink, if they're going to be nice and friendly to you, then you're going to get more than just that. I feel it's different. Like if somebody just like drops your drink into the cup, or like they actually like put effort into it, and they actually are like making this drink for you, it's different. Like if they actually put the time into it, and it's I don't know how to explain it. Like it's their passion project. It's not just like, all right, let me just squirt this
Yeah.
speed gun liquid
Like
in
someone
here.
who loves their job. That's a nice thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, you guys, give us your water
Opinion.
comment. Give us your water experiences down in the comments. If you liked our show, go ahead and give us a thumbs up. If you don't, you can give us a thumbs down.
Yeah.
Remember, you can subscribe for new content. We are coming out with our Reddit series.
On Reddit.
We are anticipating on launching every Wednesday and Friday with a new Reddit on Reddit. So check back real soon, you guys. Thanks for joining us on today's episode of Reddit on Reddit. Hey guys.